Hi, my name is Chris Johnson. I work in landscape services here at UCSD. I'm a groundskeeper. I help student gardens. I plant trees. I hope students will become more interested in sustainability and gardening and planting trees. So I started a couple of programs on campus to do with trees. And one of them is called the 1,000 Trees Initiative. You know how many buildings we have, you know how many parking spaces we have, no one knew how many trees we had by just counting the ones that we plant. A couple of years, it's way beyond 500. Usually the ones we plant on campus are really big already, and they might be 15 feet tall, but they all have to start somewhere. This is called a hollyleaf cherry. These are all native, and they all have edible parts. So these trees over here, there's 9 of them. This is called a courageon. I got these seeds, so maybe 3 years ago. These will probably get 35 feet tall. Another thing I'm doing that I started is the tree tours of campus. So we'll go to a certain area of campus, pick 5 or 6 trees and explain how they got their name, where they're from, how big they get, why we planted them here, how people use them and where they're native to, you know, if they produce food or fragrance or medicine. So that's becoming pretty popular. Just trying to raise the profile of the trees on campus. My parents, they took care of their stuff, and that's a very important part of sustainability, is avoiding the throwaway society. I learned that from them. And then when I went to college, I took a horticulture class, and it really interested me. I've just been learning more and more about the environment and the benefits of trees and gardening. And then when I came here, been here 17 years, you know, I started asking questions about, why don't we do this here? Other universities do things like, you know, count how many trees they plant or how many they cut down. No one was doing that. So I thought, well, there's an opportunity. Maybe we could have a student garden here in Roosevelt College. So you find students who want to do that. Gradually more colleges want to do that. Oh, can we have a garden too here? Sure, let's do that. I started growing plants on my own in the nursery. The ultimate goal was to have a botanical garden and to show the powers that be. Look, we can grow our own trees, a lot of them, not all of them, and not already 15 feet tall, but we can supplement that for very little money and very little effort. Why don't we do that? Because sustainability was becoming a much larger issue on campus. The head of my department said, well, maybe we should have a groundskeeper who is involved more directly with sustainability. They asked me if I wanted the job. I said, sure, I mean, I'm already doing it for free. Might as well get paid for it, right? Since then, that's been a couple of years, I've been doing that as part of my job. So I'm still the groundskeeper at Roosevelt College, like half the time. And then the other half of the time, I work with the student gardens, I do tree planting stuff, sustainability things. So I can't really say that I invented my own job, but I helped influence having that position created to where the people in charge saw a need for that, and they saw someone who was willing to do it, who had been doing it. They said, here, you want to do this? Great. So that's how I've become ingrained in sustainability on campus.
I feel like there's no one formula that works for everyone, but there's a lot of good lessons to learn. Is there any advice that you would give to students who want to incorporate sustainability into a future career?
You've heard the phrase, become the change you want to see in the world. If you want to advocate for sustainability across the campus or in your dorm room or whatever, you have to show people how to do that. You have to live that lifestyle, right? You can't say, we should recycle more, and you don't put your cans in the recycle, right? Secondly, you have to find ways to be more sustainable. Maybe you see something that's not happening, like, hey, why isn't this building recycling their cans? And then just try and find out how you can make that happen. It doesn't cost anything to ask people, just ask. Find ways to be more sustainable. The third thing is, get your hands dirty. If you want to talk about recycling, get into the recycling and do it. If you want to talk about how great trees are, come out and plant trees. If you want to tell people about the wonders of mulch, go out and mulch so you can live the experience. You don't have to be an expert at planting trees to help plant trees, right? You don't have to be an expert at recycling to help recycle, but you should know how to do it. I think those are the 3 big things.